Today, I'm going to show you how to read your City of Detroit assessment notice. The city sends out these documents at the beginning of every calendar year, and it will affect the tax bills for the tax year starting July 1st of that same year. If you are not satisfied with what is listed on this form as the taxable value of your property, there is an opportunity to appeal. The city has convened an extended appeal period this year that started February 1st and goes through February 22nd. And your assessment notice gives you the link on how to how to appeal your property online. And if you're not satisfied with the outcome of the appeal, then there are a couple opportunities to appeal the appeal through the Board of Reviews and all the way to the state of Michigan Tax Tribunal. And sometimes you do have to take your appeal all the way to the tribunal to get some relief. So now I will start walking you through the form. In the top right corner of the page, you will see the parcel description. Now, this information has been blacked out for privacy reasons, but first you see your parcel code number, and this is a numerical value that represents your specific property. It is specific to your property, unique to your property. If you have the neighborhood enterprise zone tax abatement, you will have two of these assessment notices and two parcel ID numbers. If you do not have two of these forms and you believe that you are receiving the neighborhood enterprise zone tax abatement, then you should contact the city assessor to get the second form. Next, the property address. This is the common address for your property, and the legal description is just another way to describe your property. Moving down to the left lower box, and this is where the property owner name, whether a personal name or corporation name, and the mailing address where the tax bills are being sent. If your name is not listed as the correct owner of the property, then it means that you likely did not file your property transfer affidavit after closing correctly. If you did file your property transfer affidavit and this is still not listed correctly, it's possible that the city made a mistake, and if you can show them proof, they will make the correction for free. Otherwise, there is a penalty for not filing this form within 45 days. Moving over to the right, the principal residence exemption. This states whether you occupy the property as your primary residence or not. This particular form shows 0% principal residence exemption, which means that it is not an owner-occupied property. If it was, it would say 100%. And if in the case of a duplex where you own or occupy a duplex, it would say 50%. As the city will not allow you to claim 100% principal residence on a duplex because you cannot occupy 100% of a duplex. So if you own or occupy your home and this number still reflects 0%, then you will need to file your principal residence exemption form to the city assessor, and you will need to show proof that you reside in the property. And the only way I know how to do that is if you show your driver's license, and that has to reflect your mailing address as the same address as the property. And that can either be on the front or on the sticker on the back with a change of address. So if you're wanting to file this form, then you will need to get your address changed first. Moving down to the property classification, this property is listed as residential. Could also potentially say commercial or industrial, but we are just dealing with residential property at this time. And now I want to move over to the assessment information. So I want to start with the state equalized value. This is what the city believes your property to be worth from a tax standpoint. So this number is what it was worth in 2020, and this number, what it was worth in 2021. These numbers can go up or down depending on the value of the property at that time. So if you want to know what the city considers the market value or the true cash value of your property to be, you will double this number. So currently, the city believes that this property to be worth $19,600, and so the state equalized value is half of that. Last year, the city believed the property to be worth $22,600, and so the state equalized value was $11,300. The value of the property from a tax standpoint has gone down $1,500. Now, that does not mean the taxes have gone down $1,500. It just means the taxable value, the value of the property has gone down. Now let's talk about taxable value. So taxable value is what your taxes are actually based on. You can see here that in 2020, the taxable value for this property was $77.20. And it has gone up to $78.28 for 2021. Now, there is a limit after the first year on how much the taxable value can go up. It can only go up 5% or the rate of inflation, whichever is less. And you can see here that the city has designated the rate of inflation to be 1.014%. So this increase is a multiplier of 1.014%, a change of 108. Not $108 of taxes, but $108 of taxable value. The actual amount of a tax increase is $9. So if this was the year after you purchased the property, then the taxable value for the previous owner would have uncapped to meet the amount of the state equalized value. And then after that, it can only go up 5% or the rate of inflation, whichever is less. So because these two numbers are different, it means that there was not a property transfer in 2020, and that is verified by this statement right here. If that is not correct, then it possibly means you did not file your property transfer affidavit. So the year after the sale, the taxable value uncaps to meet the assessed value or the state equalized value, and then after that, the taxable value can only go up 5% of the rate or the rate of inflation, whichever is less, and the state equalized value will go up or down depending on what the city considers the market value of your home to be. And it has no relation to the taxable value, although the taxable value can never be higher than the state equalized value. So let's talk about if you have grounds for an appeal. So to appeal your property tax assessment successfully, the current amount of the state equalized value, if you double this number, that gives you what the city considers to be your market value. If that number is, once you double it, is higher than what you purchased the property for or what you believe your property to be worth, then you do have grounds for an appeal. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Other than that, I hope that this was helpful, and good luck with your property tax appeals.